Well, would you look at that? Potentially another green meta unit. But is it? Let's find out.
Let the lesson begin.
What's up guys, Akariss here, bringing you another Fire Emblem Heroes video. Today's video is our reaction to, that and a couple other ones. The Hatari Desert, which is from the Telia series. So seasonal banner based on the, a desert seasonal banner, kind of like the whole Pledgian thing from yesterday, last year rather. So I guess this is the theme they're going with, kind of like how ninjas repeat. Probably gonna get some desert stuff, so maybe we'll get Nabata next from like Fire Emblem 6 and 7. It's okay, it's a cool theme upon theme, kind of seasonal style, so I'm okay with this. But yeah, as I do with these reaction impression videos, I'm going to go through every unit one by one, give you my thoughts on them, and hopefully give you the information you need to make smarter decisions. That's what we do here. Okay, so yeah, you guys as always can let me know in the comments below what you think of this, and I will be posting a should you pull, will you pull type of thing on the community, so check out the community tab on the channel and give me your thoughts on whether you're going to be pulling and of what proportion. Is the FedPass Spark going to be used, for example, on seasonal banners like this? I'm curious to know, and of course I will share that with the duo Harmonious Hero in the future analysis video. So yeah, before we begin, smash the like button and sub. Again, I'll ask you every time because it really does make a difference and shows me what kind of content you guys want. Those videos that don't get the attention don't get produced. Those that do, they do. Simple as that, really. So yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about what we got. Starting with Nailah. Third alt, by the way. Infantry in every version, but a different colored beast every time. So for those who don't know, she's literally blue, green, and red now of every kind. So that's kind of cool. Oh boy. That is quite a lot of text. I'm gonna try to sum this up for you guys best as I can, okay? So it's Canto Near Trace. Okay. It's a slaying weapon. It has a null guard effect. It has 7 extra damage on the special, 5 to all stats on initiation or within 2 spaces of an ally, and neutralizes her own attacks. Therefore, she can use stuff like Wind Sweep or such and whatever. So, self-null follow-up, I guess you call. So that's pretty much what that says in less words without having to give you a headache. It's a lot of effects on a weapon. It's okay. I'm not like super impressed, but it's definitely okay. I can see her working, of course, as a Gale Force unit because, of course, she has Slaying, she has that Trace effect, she gets stats and self-null follow-up with Null Guard, make for a good package of a Wings of Mercy unit with Gale Force, potentially. Glare actually adds on to some really neat tricks here. I do appreciate that even on standard Nailah. It's not something exclusive to this Nailah, but the difference, of course, is that this is a slaying weapon where like standard Nailah doesn't have a slaying weapon, and that is a bit of a difference there. Either way, she comes with a new sturdy surge skill, I guess. You might think this is an upgrade to sturdy impact, however it is not, because it doesn't deny enemy follow-ups. It's more of a side grade, I would say. It's a like it gives it a little bit extra attack, 7 attack versus 6, same amount of defense though, and if she hits with a special, she gets healing based on the special charge. Honestly, this is not that impressive. The fact that it doesn't have the denial on the follow-up makes it kind of questionable fodder. Impact is good because it denies enemy follow-ups, and that will still be a very good option to have on AR defense, where you'll find most use. I can't really find a place for this skill at the moment. I am pretty skeptical whether it's useful or not, so don't feel like, oh my god, this is good. If it had the impact effect, the null, like the deny follow-up effect plus the healing, it would be a strict upgrade, but since it doesn't, it's more of a side grade, and honestly not that impressive for something like defense, where you don't really care too much about the healing. Stuff like AR offense, again, don't really care about the healing. Could potentially be good, maybe for like arena on some player phase units, I guess, but it's not that impressive if you ask me. So anyways, next up we got Karla here. Honestly, I'm not much to question on art and whatnot, but this is kind of really nice art. So Kita Senrei, I think she does pretty good, or he, I'm sorry, I don't actually know. Anyways, whoever they are, make some pretty nice art. So Infantry Lance, okay. It's not the most common of archetypes actually. And as you see in a moment, she does come with a slaying weapon, basically curtains actually. So if you don't know what this does, it's a slaying plus curtains effect. So that's pretty good. Not with like this kit, of course, but having slaying and an additional curtains effect for an additional 2 acceleration means you can really use some high count specials such as Gale Force, which effectively become 2 charge with this weapon. And then if you combine it with Times Pulse and Quick Impulse or Infantry Pulse charge in some way, she pretty much can have instant Gale Force. So in terms of Gale Force units, this is nice. This is definitely a good one-off, and I could see Karla definitely having the stat spread to be, you know, fast and offensive just like her OG form. So this is pretty cool. There is an additional effect here where it's like, if a special triggers, she deals additional damage. That's also okay, but not what I would necessarily use something with so much special acceleration for. I could see some good value in one-off of something like Karla here. However, this is competing with the Dimitris, believe it or not. Both Legendary and Fallen Dimitri are great Gale Force units. They're not going to get as much acceleration, but they make up for that with either great mobility or true damage. So again, definitely could work as a one-off, though I wouldn't say it's worth any orbs. Not the 4-star focus, by the way, for those of you that might have thought that was the case. As a nuker, I guess you could work too, but I don't really see melee nukers being that great right now, where Gale Force is definitely solid.
Does it even matter who wins? But I guess I can't just watch, now can I?
Okay, so Infantry Staff, Xane, second seasonal alt, I guess. This is the 4-star focus, again. He does come with some kind of cool stuff, so like Dazzling is on this 4-star, so his defense rest solo, not really notable or skills worth summoning for. However, his staff is a Fatal Smoke applier, and one huge difference between Fatal Smoke, the C skill, and the staff is even if he dies through Null C Disrupt, like let's say Fjorm, like Ascended Fjorm ends up killing him, or whatever staff user you end up inheriting this to, they are still going to apply deep wounds even if the unit dies. That's a huge contrast to other Fatal Smoke users. The only other character who does this is Moonspell, but he's not that great on defense, so this is definitely a usable staff. I'm not so sure that it is the best staff to use on defense. There's a lot of really good options, including Grand Scratcher, which we just got for free. Palm staff is still really good. The preference staff on a lot of healers, such as Maribel's punishment staff, is really good. Flash is really good. So not the most amazing or like must-have of staffs, but definitely usable in some comps I could see, for sure. If you want to counterplay like healing and whatnot, it's pretty good. All these like Fatal Smoke effects is one of the big reasons that tanks don't run healing as much as they used to, with so many characters being able to do this. So if you've been wondering why there's been like a bunch of Ruptured Sky in my analysis builds, or why I choose not to run healing in general, it is because of all the applications of Fatal Smoke, where they're pretty much denying your healing. So yeah.
You have a beautiful voice.
Okay, so
You.
first of all, I really do like Leanne, and I'm glad she got an ult. It's pretty much my favorite Heron, I think. Yeah, pretty much my favorite Heron, I think. Might be Raphael, though. I'm not 100% sold on that. But either way, we have another Green Tome Cav. Seasonal, and potentially another Hero Rises, like, runner-up. Now, I wanted to take a moment to actually, if Hero Rises happens, to take a moment to tell you guys that if we end up getting a share with all these potential green knockouts, it could be the best banner we've ever had in Heroes in terms of the amount of raw 5-star exclusive type of good units you could have on one banner. I'm not going to cover the mathematics here as I always do, but color sharing is beneficial for both veterans and new players, because you can just stock up on 5 stars, on fodder, on merges. It's just really good. So if I see stuff like Thor, Azura, Ninjoran, Dogger, Eitri, whatever, all sharing, Legendary Male Byleth, whatever it is, all sharing on one banner, which could potentially be Hero Rises because of all this green, good quality stuff we've had, that would be amazing. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, that would be one thing that I would definitely push or recommend, that you tell yourself and others to pick one of these green units that you really like and potentially vote for them if we have a Hero Rises voting scenario, because the amount of good potential like value that most players, like almost all players, would get from something like this, and all these recent good units would be amazing. So had to take that moment, and I'm probably going to repeat this in a future video, but yeah, let's try to keep our eyes on the green, which is therefore the prize. Okay, so anyways, Azura on a horse. So this actually makes the second Cav Dancer, and right away I tell you that this just basically makes Dual Sigurd replaced. I would say this straight up just replaces Dual Sigurd, as Azura is now the better Cav. And the reason for that is, well, that. I don't even think that needs an explanation, but I will anyways. So Grey Waves is, of course, the specific dance Legendary Azura has, so now this dancing Azura has, which gives an extra movement to infantry or flyer units. As you can imagine, that's still really good, even by today's standards. Infantries and flying are not as common on defense, where I feel like Cavs and armors are actually quite there between save skills and of course Cav's range, but there definitely is some pretty strong nukers that still exist, infantry nukers and flyers who enable stuff like Bridal Catria. So if you can set up teams that use something like this on defense, she's going to be amazing. And of course, she doesn't even need merges. Being a dancer, merges don't really go a long way, and a one-off of this is pretty impactful. I don't know, though, with so much green saturation, whether you really should need it if you already have a good dancer on defense, such as NY Peony. Like, that's still going to be really good. If you're already using Dual Dagger on defense, then again, that's still really good and enables a lot of good stuff too. So you don't want to oversaturate on green, and this is definitely going to help some people, but I wouldn't say it is a must-have for anyone. Now, a little bit of a cool additional effect on the preference weapon combined with the dance is that she now officially, if she uses her like dance, buffs everyone adjacent to her by 6 stats. So that's an extra benefit, I guess. So not only are you buffing the unit which is being targeted by dance, but if there's adjacent units, they all get buffed too. There is also some great synergy to the fact that this Azura works really well with Dual Dagger and how she wants to be buffed with all these stats. So keep that in mind, and yeah. It's cool. It's actually quite a synergistic and good kit, if I would say. But like I said, I wouldn't feel like compelled that it's a must-have on defense by any means, because even it might replace Dual Sigurd, but I do feel like there would be a lot of teams with heavy green saturation with all these really good green units. Bridal Catria, Ninjoran, Dual Dagger, Azura, NY Peony. Like, if you put too much of this, your team is going to start really failing to common, or mostly red units who are just going to come out of the shadows and like sweep teams like this, despite all that power in green. So anyways, to no one's surprise, her Harmonious skill is pretty much just a dance similar to Summer Shida, and I believe like Ninian and Tiki. There might be someone else I'm missing, Dual Dorothea as well. So it feels like they're just giving dance Harmonious skills to everyone. This is good, of course, for Resonant Battles, and of course it's also really good for AR offense, where if you do clear the dual building or enough of dual units and there's none remaining, then you use this and enable Fate's units, and I believe that's Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn. I'm not sure which one it actually counts as. My guess is Path of Radiance because I see Ike there and I see Alencia, so probably that's what the game is. But anyways, another dance, another enabler, and potentially good synergy for AR offense, as always, as a one-off unit.
Let our voices ring out. Listen to our song.
And of course it can hit a dancer. So yeah, because that hit Ike and Alencia, I'm pretty sure it's Path of Radiance, as they did come from Path of Radiance. Those particular versions. It's actually been quite a while since we've even seen an Azura ult, like years even. So yeah, that pretty much covers this banner, I feel. And we do have Dean showing up there in a colorless Cav Dagger role. We'll probably cover him as soon as I see the stats and whatnot. But colorless Cav Dagger is... I'll see. I'll reserve my opinion until I see a stat spread, because depending on what that is, he could end up being okay as a investment either for defense or offense. Cavs always seem to find a place. However, his HP probably being 43 here, 46 minus 3, does lend itself to probably being a little bit too high for some enabler strats. Not that it can't be done, but again, I'm going to reserve my opinion until I see more details on him. And yeah, so that pretty much covers this banner. It's also going to last quite a while, almost a month. So again, you don't really need to make that decision right away. And of course, Fed Pass users can spark. If you were to spark, then the spark unit here would likely be Azura. But like I mentioned, considering how heavy a lot of the good green units have been lately, I could see Azura and a lot of the other ones ending up as solid or potential candidates for Hero Rises. So keep that in mind, folks. And yeah, that pretty much covers my thoughts on this banner, the units, and overall what I think. As always, go vote and let me know what you're going to do on the community tab on the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you want to see some gameplay, you can always hit me up on Twitch. If you like the content that I do and you want to keep see it coming, the best way to support me is of course on Patreon. Consider checking that out. Smash the like button one more time, sub if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Love you all. Peace.
It's over.